She was just a stranger to me, until the alienqueen came to him in tears. The first time I saw her, she was just another face in the crowd. A stranger among thousands of refugees flooding into the Terran Protectorate's outpost on the edge of the Orion Arm. Her cloak was tattered, her face hidden beneath a veil of traveled dust and shadow. She kept her head down, moving as if afraid of being recognized. I didn't think much of her then. After all, I was just a human soldier, recently discharged after the wars of the Carrot Dominion. My job on the outpost was simple: monitor arrivals, check identifications, and report anomalies. People passed me by every day. Smugglers pretending to be merchants, broken families clutching scraps of home, mercenaries with dead eyes. She was just one more refugee, nothing more. Or so I thought. The beginning. The Orion outpost was not a place of hope. It was a fractured station orbiting a dying blue star, its hull patched with mismatched alloy scavenged from battle wrecks. Refugees came here because it was the last stop before the void, one step away from disappearing forever. I lived in a cramped barack, ate protein rations that tasted like wet cardboard, and worked 12-hour shifts staring at endless streams of faces. My commander called it peacekeeping. To me, it felt more like slow decay. One evening, as I scanned item chips at the docking bay, the stranger approached my booth. She handed me a forged item, obvious, sloppy. I was about to report her when I looked into her eyes. They were unlike anything I had ever seen, silver, luminous, as if the stars themselves had been captured inside. And behind that light, something else, grief. Her voice trembled when she spoke. Please, don't send me back. I should have followed protocol. But for reasons I couldn't explain, I simply nodded and stamped her clearance. That was the first time I let her slip past. For weeks after, I caught glimpses of her. She lingered in the food lines and the cargo bays, sometimes on the observation deck staring at the shattered nebulae beyond. Always alone, always wary. She never gave her name, and I never asked. She was just a stranger to me. The war had left scars on every species. Alliances shifted like desert sands, and whispers of rebellion grew louder with each passing day. The Terran Protectorate's grip was weakening. One night, alarms blared across the outpost. Saboteurs had slipped through, planting explosives along the oxygen circulators. I joined the security team in pursuit through the maintenance corridors. That's when I saw her again, cornered by two armed rebels. She moved with impossible speed, disarming one with a twist of her wrist and throwing the other against the bulkhead with a force no ordinary refugee should have possessed. Her hood fell back, and I finally saw her face. She was not human. Her skin shimmered faintly, marked with intricate patterns that glowed under the emergency lights. Her silver eyes burned with a quiet fury, and though she was dressed in rags, her bearing was regal. She looked at me, and for the first time, I understood the truth. This woman was no ordinary refugee. She was royalty. When the attackers fled, I pulled her into an abandoned chamber. Who are you? I demanded. She hesitated, then whispered words that changed everything. I am Lyri, last queen of the Aurelian ascendancy. I froze. Everyone knew the name. The Aurelians were thought extinct, wiped out by the Carrot in a brutal genocide. Their empire had spanned hundreds of worlds, their queen said to hold bonds with living star spirits. To meet one in flesh seemed impossible. She saw my disbelief. Her hand touched my arm, and a vision seared into my mind. I saw her world. Crystalline cities burning, skies torn apart by warships, children screaming as flames consumed them. And I saw her, standing on the steps of the palace, forced to watch as everything she loved crumbled. When the vision faded, she was trembling. Tears streaked her luminous face. They destroyed my people, she whispered. And now, I am alone. I didn't know what to say. She was just a stranger, someone I should have reported. But seeing her cry, seeing the weight she carried, something inside me shifted. From that moment, she was no longer just a face in the crowd. The secret she carried. Days turned into weeks, and I found myself drawn to her. We spoke in shadows, away from curious eyes. She told me fragment of her story, how she had escaped the slaughter, how she had wandered for years in hiding, hunted by enemies who feared her bloodline. They want me dead, she said, because as long as I live, the Aurelians are not truly gone. I began to understand the danger. If the Protectorate discovered her identity, they would hand her over to the Careth without hesitation. Political expediency always outweighed compassion. But worse, rumors spread across the station of a new weapon, a living beast forged by the Dominion, an abomination bred for war, unstoppable, relentless. And Leary believed she was its target. One night, I found her waiting in my quarters. Her silver eyes glistened with desperation. "They are coming," she said. "The beast will find me. I can't outrun alone." I had no reason to help her. She was still, in so many ways, a stranger to me. Yet I remember the tears she shed, the vision of her dying world, and the quiet strength in her voice. And so I made a choice that would change both our lives. "I'll protect you," I told her. The climax. The attack came sooner than expected. The Dominion's war beast descended on the outpost like a nightmare given flesh. It was massive, an amalgam of steel and sinew, a creature with 6 burning eyes and claws that sliced through bulkheads. Panic consumed the station as alarms wailed and soldiers fell before its advance. And in the chaos, it hunted her. I led Leary through collapsing corridors, my pulse pounding as the beast tore through the fences behind us. Its roar shook the metal around us, a sound that carried the weight of extinction. We reached the observation deck, the last stand before the docking bays. The beast cornered us, its eyes glowing like molten suns. Soldiers fired, but their weapons barely scratched its armored hide. Leary stepped forward, trembling but unyielding. Her tears streamed down as she faced the monster. "I will not run anymore," she said. "If my life is a price, then let it end here." But something inside me refused to accept that. I raised my rifle, knowing it would do nothing. Still, I stood between her and the beast. Then, something impossible happened. The beast halted, its burning eyes fixed on me, and for a moment, the fury inside them dimmed. It lowered its massive head as if bowing. Gasps filled the deck. Soldiers froze, staring. Leary's eyes widened in shock. She whispered, "It listens to you." I didn't understand why. I was no king, no chosen one, just a soldier broken by war. And yet, the beast knelt before me, ignoring its orders, as though it recognized something within me even I did not. Leary fell to her knees, tears spilling freely now, not of sorrow but of relief. "You've done what no one else could," she whispered. "You've made the beast kneel." The ending. Word of the event spread quickly. Some called it luck, others a miracle. But for me, it was a moment that changed everything. The Protectorate could not ignore what they had witnessed. Nor could Leary. With the beast subdued, she finally had the chance to rebuild. Together, we forged a fragile alliance, humans and the last of the Aurelians. The station became more than a refuge. It became the seat of something new. She was no longer just a stranger. In the quiet that followed the chaos, she came to me again. Her silver eyes were softer now, her voice no longer trembling. "When I first met you, I thought you were nothing more than another soldier bound by duty," she said. "But you gave me more than protection. You gave me hope." I didn't know what future awaited us, whether the Dominion would return, whether the Aurelians could rise again. But as I took her hand in mine, I knew one thing for certain. Once, she had been just a face in the crowd, a stranger. But the night the alienqueen came to me in tears, everything changed, and I would never see her as a stranger again.